and renewal, which is the main overall theme of the conference today. Regarding the retrospection paradigm, which is the first R, it is significant that the Gambian Ministry of Women's Affairs has deemed it fitting to commemorate this day by injecting an appropriate African flavor into its proceedings under the historic overarching umbrella of the ancient mantra of Pan-Africanism and the African Renaissance. A residual, re-echoed synergic relationship, therefore, was established by this with the ideology of Pan-Africanism, because it was selected as the main theme for the celebrations of the 50th anniversary of the African Union last year. Later, I shall attempt to show how retrospection into the role that was played by the valiant women of Africa in the Pan-African struggle helped to strengthen the political liberation campaigns in African states in the 1950s and 60s. It is justified to underscore the fact that one of the key aims of the UN International Women's Day is to induce women and their male counterparts to engage in reflection or a soul-searching autocritique. It is only by transparent and constructive pondering on how many of our set development goals and targets have been realized, which is necessary for us to be successful in attaining the objective of the empowerment of women. If the necessary retrospection and reflection exercise are efficiently conducted, at the end, we would succeed in creating a new, resurgent, renascent, enabling framework that is results-oriented, has a high growth potential, and is sustainable enough for attaining a meaningful and comprehensive empowerment of women and girls in the Gambia. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish the women of the Gambia fruitful deliberations at this conference and resounding successful outcomes in the different aspects of the activities that are planned in the International Women's Day commemorative program. Furthermore, I would like to add my prayers to those already offered for God to continue to bless with prosperity the work of Gambian women and provide them with guidance and perseverance as they plod on with their arduous, labor-intensive, but vital gender-assigned roles for the betterment of their families, communities, and the Gambian nation. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, Madam Zainab Yahya Jammeh. Your Excellency, the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, Honorable Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Honorable Minister of Justice and Attorney General, Honorable Minister of Health, Honorable National Assembly members, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, the resident representative and of the UNDP and other members of the UN system, Mrs. Thokozile Roosevelt of UNECA, fondly called Toko, our friend, Mrs. Aminata Diba, the Director of the ECOWAS Gender and Development Center, and staff, Mr. Guma of the Center, our first ever female governor of West Coast, Mrs. Sifai Hyderabad. Congratulations once more. All regional governors here present, the Permanent Secretary, Office of the Vice President, and all all permanent secretaries here present, senior government officials, the executive director of the Women's Bureau, the president of the Gambia Women's Federation and all federation members, lady councillors, the National Women Mobilizer and former National Women Mobilizer, former Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Fatmata Jamil Basise, mobilizers, Yai Compins, all women leaders, youth groups, Lady Njeme Jawara, chairpersons, presenters, and discussants, Madam Sukaina Toure, President, Rosso Rapid of Senegal, and all members of her delegation, the press, both print and electronic, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, cultural troops, all other protocols respectfully and duly observed. I am deeply honored and privileged to perform the welcome remarks at this auspicious and historic occasion, marking the commencement of activities in commemoration of International Women's Day 2014. Under the dynamic and exemplary leadership of Her Excellency the Vice President and Minister of Women's Affairs, our style of commemoration is enriched with value-adding activities and projects which are more beneficial to women of the Gambia. This year, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is spiced with an international flavor. An international conference that provides the opportunity to our colleagues from within and outside the Gambia to join us to celebrate Gambian women and share best practices and experience on topical issues of mutual interest. Consequently, Your Excellency and distinguished guests, the theme of this international conference, Pan-Africanism and African Renaissance in the context of gender and empowerment of women and youth, is very apt, timely, and relevant to the drive towards the advancement of women, and also complements